Welcome to the Daniel Fast Cookbook Pre-Sale Case Study. I'm excited that you are here and I am looking forward to sharing these results with you. So let's dig in. And whether you're watching live or you're watching this on the recording, on the replay, let me know, have you done a pre-sale before and why or why not? And so you can drop that in the comments wherever you're viewing this from. And that just lets me know where people are and where we're going to go. Okay, so if you have done pre-sales before, okay, Sarah said that she has not because she just wasn't sure how. And okay, Jennifer said that she is hesitant. Okay, that's totally normal. So we'll talk about that further as well. All right, so I am Ashley and I'm the owner of Shep Publishing House, and I'll let you know a little bit more about me. And so I'm a wife of almost 10 years, a mom of 2, and as of last June, a full-time entrepreneur. And I'll tell you the details on that. And then I'm the owner of Shep Publishing House, where we help authors get from the page to the people with efficient and effective marketing strategies so they can get paid to publish. And then also I'm the owner of Chef Ashley Shep, which helps busy moms get dinner done faster with quick, healthy, and tasty meals. And so here are some places I've been featured. And so Medium, Voyage ATL, Disney, yes, the actual Disney, and then also on the YouVersion Bible app, and I'll talk about that as well. I have a gift for you. This is absolutely free, and so this is my pre-sale timeline cheat sheet. Often when people are doing pre-sales, they ask, okay, well, how do I know when I need to open my pre-sale? How do I know when I need to turn off my pre-sale? How long do I have to promote? When should I order my author copies? When can I ship my items? And so if that's a question that you have, go ahead and use your smartphone's smartphone's camera to be able to scan this QR code, and it will take you right to this cheat sheet, and it will help you to be able to plan out your pre-sale, because it's really easy to be unsure of these things if you've never done a pre-sale before. And so I wanted to make it something where it was easy to follow and also attainable for you to be able to use to plan out your pre-sale. Okay, and so this is the same QR code on the screen. And so those same questions: how big of an audience size do I need? Do I need to already have my editing done? These are questions that I find that most of my clients, or people who are potential clients or just followers, generally have when it comes to mapping out their pre-sale. So I wanted to put all of that in one space for you to be able to have it. And throughout this training, I will include other examples that you can use. So be sure to keep your phone handy to be able to scan the codes. In this section, I'll be talking about how I use social media to be able to support my Daniel Fast Meals Cookbook launch. Now, of course, we know social media changes all the time. And so these are some strategies that will help you to be able to support your pre-sale as well. And of course, social media is likely not going anywhere. And so I've included it in my Profitable Publishing Pentagon as a strategy to help build brand awareness, encourage engagement, and utilize the power of community to be able to sell your book. The print run for the Daniel Fast Meals Cookbook is done, and the books are on the way to me. Here is a behind the scenes look of the process, and I will definitely be doing this again. It was fun, challenging, and also cost effective. Follow for more. All right, so that was a video that I posted on TikTok and reposted onto other platforms. And so I just took some snippets from different things I was collecting to be able to make content, because people want a behind the scenes look. So this is a good slide to screenshot. This is including different types of things you can post. So screen recordings. So that might look like a screen recording of me flipping through the book, or a screen share. When I went live weekly, I would share different items on my screen to let people know, okay, we're in the formatting process, or we just got the book back from the editor, XYZ, and letting them see behind the scenes. Sometimes people say they're nosy, but they're not nosy, they're just inquisitive. They want to know what's going on, and not everybody has written a book. Most people haven't written a book. So you writing a book is interesting and amazing to them. Sharing screenshots of whenever FedEx was taking forever and a day to deliver my books, I would screenshot the shipping and say, okay guys, we're here now. And so it keeps people in the loop. And then a walkthrough video for each of the formats. So what that means in this case, a book format is either like spiral, hardcover, paperback, ebook, things like that. And so I would do walkthrough videos to show some of the differences in those, and such as like the binding or what it looks like to have the different options. And then of course voting on the covers and using that to check statistics. So letting people know, hey, you can vote on the cover and let me know which one you prefer. Doing the TikTok trends, like I mentioned earlier, I'm doing the Daniel fast. Of course, I'm going to XYZ. My book launch party, then cooking demonstrations with different organizations, behind the scenes of picking the recipes. So this looked like me doing an over the shoulder camera and just really just like 5 to 10 seconds of me scrolling through as I was working. Or even a time lapse video was one that I included as well, so people could see the process of me actually cooking the rest or picking the recipes and cooking them as well, which is what I was doing over here. And then packaging those orders. So as I was making those cards and laminating them, things like that, letting people know that that's what was happening, preparing the packages for the cookbook, and then book unboxings on Reels and TikToks, as well as long form videos like on YouTube. So long form videos. So here we have my book unboxing, and I was able to share what that looks like in terms of what the book looked like once I got the proof, what the binding was. I let people help vote on if I should do black or white coil on the spiral. And then also talked about the type of paper that was included. I talked about shipping timelines and just being very transparent in the process so people knew what was going on, whether they had purchased the book or not. And even people who were not my ideal reader, people who had not heard of the Daniel fast before, people who were not interested in cutting out meats or other quote unquote choice foods like from the Bible, so other like really rich foods, meats or sweets, they still purchased because they saw the process and they were excited to be a part of the process. And then the center picture is from my cook plus book launch party, which we'll get into a little deeper in a couple slides. And for this, I had a split screen, and I'll show you what software that I used as well during the software section of this case study. And so I used 2 screens so that way people could see my face, but also could see my hands when I was actually prepping. So that way we got our little in-home video studio because people like to see what's going on. And then using storytelling. So while I was cooking, like I told you at the beginning, I told you the valley that I was in during the time period where this cookbook was coming out and where I was writing it. I told that story of job loss, of the baby's potential heart condition, the baby's potential stomach situation, and I told that while I was cooking, and so that kept people engaged as well. Okay, so here, I wanted to show a series of different lives that I did to show that this was for YouTube. So I posted on all the platforms, but the cover photos let the person know, okay, these kind of look alike. These are things that go together. So this was a cooking class, this was the cookbook, the book launch party, and then this was just a general overview of the book, and then this was a preview. So before the finalized version, I did a preview. And so, for example, this is what it would look like if someone were to go look at it on YouTube. And so live streaming to multiple platforms, there's software that you can do that at the same time, so you're not having to do that individually. And making it a series of topics was helpful because then people were like, oh, I remember she talked about this before. This is going to be a series of topics that I'm doing here for the case study as well, because it helps people to digest and to process information. And then once the book was available, I updated the links on these descriptions because keeping in mind this was a preview, so the book was not quite available yet to purchase. So going back and updating those links as well to maximize sales. And then anytime I knew I was going to go live ahead of time, I would create an event and announce it via social media and email. That did not always happen. So sometimes I would go live and then update the flyer or the cover photo or the thumbnail and let people know, hey, I went live. Here's a replay. Okay, so this is a tip that I want to share because authors come to me and they say, well, I can't start my pre-sale because I don't have my book. that doesn't matter. And when I say this, I don't mean this in a scammy way. I mean that you don't have to have your physical copy of your book in your hand to be able to open your pre-sale. There is a timeline that you want to do it by, which in the first section we talked about that book launch timeline. So if you missed that part, go back and watch that, and use that free guide that I sent you, or that I linked. But you don't have to have your book in hand to do your launch party. I didn't get my physical copy of the book until January 2nd, and then I did my launch party December 28th. And so here's an example of a post of what you can do by sharing your formatting, sharing what's going on, and letting people know, like, this book is not done. But when it's done, you can buy it here. Or you can buy it now, and then I'll send it to you when it is done. So just being very honest and transparent so people know the process. And if you're posting consistently, people know that they can trust you because you've been posting consistently. You've built that trust factor. So here's some stats that I had from posting on social media. And so this one is on Facebook. And so during the time period, my pre-sale opened Black Friday weekend. So November 25th through February 16th was when I closed pre-sales. And so this was an increase of over 4,500,000 accounts reach. So that was my reach. And then 1.3 K interactions. So those might be comments, shares, likes, things like that. 46 links to click. And if you know anything about Facebook, this was on the business page, not my personal page. It's really hard to get people to engage with your business page. And so I was pretty proud of myself for this, for getting these stats. And then 1,300 minutes viewed from all of my different videos. And so that was over 100% increase. And mind you, the time before this, I was coming off of maternity leave and dealing with job stress. And so this was really like a re-engaging my page, or rejuvenating my page. I'll say that. And then over on Instagram, so there I had, which I was not focusing on as heavily. And so I had 6.1K reach over there, which was still over 200% increase. And then 1.4K interactions, 19 link clicks, which is also commendable because we know on Instagram it is very hard to get people to click your link. And so a deeper dive looking at TikTok. So 44,000 increase in reach, and then 800 profile views. And my TikTok at that point, before I started doing Daniel Fast stuff, I really only had probably less than 20 videos because I wasn't really focusing on TikTok. And so one of the good things about TikTok is that they don't say, okay, you only have 20 followers. We're only going to show your stuff to these 20 followers. They're good about pushing out your stuff to more people. And so the video that I mentioned to you of I'm doing the Daniel fast, of course I blah, blah, blah. That one at this point is over 50,000 views. And then another video I did got 40,000 views as well. Okay, then for YouTube, I got 2,500 views, 41 watch hours during this time period, and then 21 new subscribers. Okay, so another client spotlight. This is Ronnie B. Jackson Jr. And his book, Push Past Impact, was something that helps people to generally, more specifically guys, helps guys to be able to push through adversities, pass on nuggets of information to their sphere of influence so they can impact folks that are around them. And so he did $1,000 in pre-sales on his first book, and he had two options. He did the book bundle, as well as had autographed copies of the book with the digital copy as well. And his bundle included a custom ballpoint pen, as well as a motivational digital download because that fit with his audience, and then an invite to a book release event. All right, so now we're going to dig a little deeper into the cookbook party. And so this was my official book launch for the cookbook. And got my party hat over here. And so this was something that was 3 years to the day after my previous book, the most recent book before this one came out, that is tied to the book as well. So this came out 3 years after my devotional. And so the reason why I did a cookbook birthday launch party is because people really love celebrating you on your birthday. And so what better way to do it than to have your book release? And so I did it previously with the devotional. It worked well. People liked it. And it just made sense. And so it was something where I could combine both businesses, like I've been talking about before, to have that trend of showing how I'm using the book launch process. And then I could capture the essence of the book, because at this point I didn't have the actual book. I didn't get the copy till January 2nd. This was December 28th. And so it was a way that I could still do something to show my audience the essence of the book without having the book. And so in addition, I also had a cooking class where the people who purchased the bundle, they cooked a recipe from the book with me as well. And so, as I mentioned before, I was telling the testimony of everything that had happened to me with my job, things that had happened with my son, which didn't mention before, but he's totally fine. He just turned a year old, and so praise God for that. But totally fine, no heart defect. And the thing that was in his intestine, or the thing that was in the umbilical cord, was actually his appendix, and so they just took it out. So he had to have surgery when he was 2 days old, and was in the NICU for about 5 days, and then after that he's fine, eating everything in sight. And so keeping people engaged in the party. At that point, I'm cooking, I'm telling the story, I'm telling people about the cookbook, and so it was just a really good time. And also included giveaways that got increasingly better as the party went on, so that way they were incentivized to stay. And if you want to check out that party, go ahead and scan that QR code there to be able to see how it went. And other steps that I took leading up to the launch party to prepare for it was I created a Facebook event, and that's something where you can invite people to come to the event on Facebook. It'll send them a notification. And I had people once. I hosted it on Zoom, but I did stream to different platforms. So I was able to. No, I'm sorry. No, I didn't stream to platforms. I hosted it on Zoom, and then I streamed to just Facebook, and then I reposted it onto YouTube. And so I advertised through email and social media, static posts, meaning like picture posts. I had to set up my kitchen and make it look really nice in that little corner with the background, because I didn't have the book to put in the background. And so I put up foods that would be things that people might eat on the Daniel fast. And then I used multi-streaming software to be able to stream to multiple platforms. Then the day of the cookbook launch party, I had 30 attendees that stayed on throughout. Of course, people came on and off, but it was no less than 30 at a time, and more on the replay. And then it was 153 minutes of watch time on my Facebook, 73 interactions on Facebook. And like I said before, I didn't have a copy of the book, but I was still able to hold people's attention. And at this point, the digital version was not on the website. So the only place I was sending people, not on KDP, I'm sorry. The only place I was sending people to purchase was my website to buy the physical copy. If you were to have me do this launch for you, then the price would be $99.97. But you can learn how to do it yourself with guidance, so that way you're not having to fumble and figure things out, because you have the templates and you have me. So here's a reminder: after checking out the walkthrough, you can either choose the full system, or if you're someone who just needs the templates, then those are available as well. And so you'll get admission to the Get Paid to Publish Presale 30-day intensive, and then you'll also get the book bundle guide to be able to map out your presale. This includes social media post wording, social media post templates, email templates for your shopping cart, things like that. You'll get the audio and video replay to be able to see it all at once if that's your style. And then I'm also including bonuses such as the website wording, so that way you can cut down on questions from your buyers. And for the first 5 folks that sign up, I'm including a fast action bonus which includes a one-on-one session with me to be able to map out your presale. Then, once again, as mentioned before, if you just need the templates and you don't need the accountability that comes with the 30-day intensive, 30-day time with me, 30 days of time working with me, then you can grab those templates here as well. So go ahead and scan this code or click the link in the description to be taken to the page to check out. All right, you are done with this section. I want you to head on over to the email marketing portion, where I will talk about how I increased my email subscribers by over 300 folks. As well, I'll share the ways in which I was able to get reviews and encourage people to purchase books, as well as stay top of mind and cut down on questions during my book launch process. So go ahead and check that out.